In many parts of the world, $1 can still buy a full meal, a bus ride, or even an afternoon snack. But in Germany, one of Europe's richest countries, $1 feels almost invisible. And yet somehow, it still survives in the smallest corners of daily life. In Germany, mornings begin quietly. The sound of tram wheels sliding over steel tracks. Bicycle tires rolling across wet stone streets. Coffee machines hissing inside bakeries before sunrise. Outside train stations, people carry fresh bread wrapped in paper bags. Small cafes spill onto sidewalks. And somewhere in nearly every neighborhood, the smell of butter, coffee, and baked pretzels drifts into the cold air. At the moment, $1 equals roughly 90 euro cents. That doesn't sound like much. But in Germany, even small coins still have a place in everyday life. A single fresh bread roll, known as a Brötchen, can still cost under €1 in many local bakeries. Crispy on the outside, soft and warm in the middle. For millions of Germans, this is how mornings begin. And then there's the pretzel. Deep brown, twisted by hand, with coarse salt pressed into the surface. Sold in train stations, bakeries, and street kiosks across the country. In some cities, $1 is still enough to buy one. But Germany's cheapest everyday luxury might be sparkling water. In restaurants across the country, people often pay more for water than beer. Yet in supermarkets, bottles of mineral water can cost just a few cents after recycling deposits are returned. Because in Germany, even bottles are part of the economy. And surprisingly, $1 can still buy a short public bathroom visit in many train stations. Not glamorous. But in one of Europe's most organized countries, even cleanliness has a price. Perhaps the most uniquely German thing $1 touches is trash. Germany's bottle recycling system, known as Pfand, turns empty cans and bottles into small pieces of currency. Almost every plastic bottle and aluminum can carry a deposit, usually 25 euro cents. People return them to machines inside supermarkets. The machine scans the barcode, crushes the bottle, and prints a receipt instantly. 4 empty bottles can already equal more than $1. And over time, this system quietly changed behavior across the country. Streets stay cleaner. Recycling became automatic. And even discarded bottles still carry value. In Germany, efficiency isn't just engineering. It's built into everyday life. Germany often feels precise from the outside. Trains arriving on schedule. Crosswalk lights obeyed even on empty streets. Cashiers scanning groceries with almost mechanical speed. But underneath that efficiency is a dense network of tiny everyday systems. Family bakeries that have operated for generations. Turkish kebab shops staying open long after midnight. Old cash payments existing beside contactless cards and banking apps. In larger cities like Berlin or Hamburg, people still collect discarded bottles from public bins late at night. Not because Germany is poor, but because even small amounts of money still matter. €1 here. 50 cents there. The economy moves through millions of tiny transactions most tourists never notice. Of course, this doesn't mean life in Germany is cheap. Rent prices in cities like Munich and Berlin have climbed dramatically over the last decade. Energy bills, transportation, and groceries have all become more expensive. And while $1 may still buy a pretzel or a bread roll, average daily life requires far more than small coins. But that's what makes these tiny purchases interesting. Because they reveal the habits a society chooses to keep, even as everything around them changes. In the end, maybe the most memorable thing about $1 in Germany isn't what it buys. It's the image of an empty bottle being fed into a machine, and instantly becoming valuable again. A tiny system, quietly repeated millions of times every day. Sometimes, the way a country treats its smallest coins says more about it than its biggest landmarks ever could. So if you had exactly $1 in Germany, would you spend it on a warm pretzel, a fresh bread roll, or save a few bottles and turn trash into money instead? And which country should be next?